Alright guys, welcome back to today's video. In today's video, we're looking at the 2024 election prediction here between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, the two possible nominees for each of their respective parties. Now, Joe Biden is obviously the incumbent president and has a very high chance of winning his party's nomination. The reason why, obviously, is because of the fact that he's the incumbent president and Donald Trump is the former president of the United States and is leading in many Republican primary polls. Now, the purpose of this video, guys, is to give you an outlook of why either candidate, Trump or Biden, the presumptive nominees for each political party are most likely to end up in a rematch. But the main reason is really to show why each candidate has a good chance of winning the election. Trump or Biden can win the election. And this video is for those hardcore Trump supporters or those hardcore Biden supporters who really think that their candidate can win in 2024 and are not really in touch with the majority of Americans who are really divided on these issues and do not have a very favorable opinion of these two doing a rematch here in 2024. So this is going to be basically looking at the key battleground states. Now, if you're a political outsider looking at this and you're thinking, why have I already colored a majority of the states? The reason why is because the majority of the states which I've already colored are states which are extremely polarized towards either political side, either towards the Republican or Democratic side. For some of these states here, for example, if you look at a state like North Dakota or DC, North Dakota would elect a Republican no matter who it was. It doesn't matter whether it was H. Hutchinson to Donald Trump to Chris Christie. They would elect a Republican. For DC, it would basically vote for a Democrat no matter who the Democrats ran. So those are states which are extremely polarized. Now, some states like Ohio, Florida, Texas, Iowa, these are states which are kind of close, but then again, we kind of know where they're trending just based off of polling and based off of previous elections. So that's where the both candidates stand at 225 to 219. Obviously, 270 is the magic number in order to win an election. Now let's take a look at the polls because the polls are really what I want to take a look at in this video and take a look at why either candidate could win an election based off of the polling data that we have. Going to look here at Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. Now for the state of North Carolina, I'm definitely going to put that as being I put that as being clear. The reason why is because North Carolina, again, it only voted for Mitt Romney and Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020 by small margins. So I'm not going to color that in as being tilt or likely Republican. But just taking a look here at some of the polls here. Again, the purpose of this video, guys, is to look at the polls and see where the people are telling us, where the polls are telling us where people are. Just taking a look at this here in the state of Michigan. So this is an individual poll. Now, before we get into this individual poll, let me just go ahead and give you kind of like a general election poll here. And let me just find this here. I have the different polls. Okay, so yeah, okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and go with Michigan to begin with here. We might not get into a general election poll. We're just gonna go ahead and start with Michigan here. But as you can see here with Michigan here, you have some polls here at the very top, and then you have some polls here at the very bottom. So we'll both some good polling data for us to take a look at. So you have here at these polls that you have at the top, you have Biden plus one and then Biden plus two. Now, no, don't look at the poll at the top. The poll at the top just shows the average of the three polls here at the bottom. So you don't have to look at the poll which shows Biden plus one. That's kind of an average of plus one, plus two, and tie. But you have here Biden for the tie. I just want to look at the tie. You have Biden at 44% and Trump at 44%. Again, this means that you have about 12% of voters who do either A, do not want to go outside and vote, B, want to vote for an independent candidate, or C, they haven't made their minds up yet. So those are basically your three options when you have polling data which does not add up to 100% with regards to the individuals. Now, normally in most elections prior to 2016, most of the time you would have the polls add up to 47 to 48 or something like that. And you'd only have maybe 5 or 6% of individuals who would vote for an independent party or would not go out and vote with regards to the polls themselves or have not decided. But as you can see here in more recent elections in 2016, 2020, a lot of people, there's becoming a growing amount of people who are just not satisfied with either candidate. And that trend started especially in 2016. It has started in previous elections, but extensively in 2016 here. 12% of voters here in this poll do not know who they will vote for, or they have not made up their minds yet, or they will vote for an independent candidate, or they will not just go out and vote. So that's some of the data there from the state of Michigan there. Moving on here, the state of Nevada. extremely crucial state to either candidate here. Again, even though the state of Nevada only has a bare minimum of 6 electoral votes, it will be extremely important in this election, in the next election, in 2032, in every election going forward here. The reason why is because it is extremely close here when looking at the polling data. Now, Donald Trump lost this state by around 2.5% in both 2020 and 2016, which would be extremely close. Although taking a look here at the polling data, you see that it is leaning a little bit towards Trump's side and it leans towards Biden's side as well. So let's taking a look here at the polling data in Nevada there. Again, moving on here to different states here that we want to take a look at. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is going to be the most, possibly the most critical state of the 2020 election. The reason why is because it is extremely close, extremely close with regards to the polling data and where voters are with regards to where they are. You have Biden +2, and then for the rest of the three polls, you have, other than the Trump +1, you have Biden +3. You have Trump +1 right there in the middle, in between Biden +2 and Biden +4. You have a tie, and then for the last three polls there, you have Trump +6, +1, +5. So, guys, Pennsylvania is extremely close, guys. If you live in Pennsylvania, it would be a good idea to go out to the polls and vote, even if you don't like either candidate. The lesser of two evils scenario would be a possible scenario for you to work out if you live in the state of Pennsylvania. Extremely close there. Again, guys, before we move on, I just want to let you guys know that if you guys want to know, in this video, I'm not going to be assigning states to either candidate on the, as far as on the electoral map. But if you want to see me assigning these states to each individual candidate, go and check out my video in the link in the description below. I do a Trump v. Biden rematch, guys. An extremely close rematch, obviously. But I'm going to do an election rematch here with each of these battleground states. If you want to know where I think each of these states are going to go for their candidate, go and check that video in the link in the description below, guys, and make sure you go check that out. But let's go back here into where we are headed here with regards to the next state here, with regards to the next battleground state, Wisconsin. We only have 3 polls here from American Politics. Again, guys, sorry that we only have three polls here, but you can kind of see where the nation is headed here. You have Biden +6, Biden +1, Biden +1. Now, again, the Biden +1, Biden +1, again, you have your margin of error. You can dispute with regards to the legitimacy of different polling data, even in states like Pennsylvania, which you may think will handily go to Biden, or states like Wisconsin, which you may think will go to Trump or Biden. But here's where the polling data has us. Again, guys, this is just polling data. Guys, make sure you do additional research, guys. We're looking at several key polls, guys. But again, things will change obviously within the next 1.5 years, guys. So do not take this super seriously. Again, we are 1.5 years before the election, approximately. So we have Biden +9, Biden +1, Biden +1 there. So that's for the state of Wisconsin. Pretty much trending Democrat there. But again, you can infer basically what you want to think, which is why I like making these types of videos in order for you to infer where the country is standing, and not for me just to randomly assign states based off of polling data, which I have looked at. So you have here at Arizona here. Arizona here, guys, is a state which has been extremely Republican in the past. They voted for John McCain over Barack Obama. They voted for John McCain consistently. But it did vote for Joe Biden in 2020 by an extremely small margin there, by under 0.5%. But you see here that it is trending a little bit right. You have Trump +2, Biden +1, Biden +2, Trump +4, Trump +3. Again, extremely close, guys. But you guys can look at other polls as well. Make sure you go ahead, especially you need to keep the polls up to date. Especially, do not trust if these polls, if 6 months from now or 7 months from now, you need to make sure that you are keeping up to date with each of these polls and just taking a look at them. Okay. So moving on here, that was the state of Arizona here. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the state of Georgia here, guys, and then we'll look at another poll coming up. So Georgia here, you have Trump up 5 here, in 5 of the polls rather. You have Trump up in 5 of the polls here. And now for the state, you see here Emerson. This is extremely important poll to look at here. In one of these polls here from Emerson, you have Trump at 51%. So that's extremely weird in a poll for nowadays here. But you see here Trump is gaining ground here. Again, Trump did win the state of Georgia by 5.2%, which is why I cringe when people in 2016, which is why I cringe when people say that Georgia is a state which Biden will win in 2024. It is not guaranteed. It is not guaranteed that Trump will win. You have Biden +4, Biden +1 here. So again, extremely crucial here. Again, but here you have here Biden at 44, Trump at 43. So again, not adding up as close to 100% as some of you may like if you're of either political candidate. North Carolina, again, guys, the state which the Republican Party has won since 2012 in the general election, in 2012, 2016, and 2020. But again, extremely close. You have Biden up 2, Trump up 11, Biden up 2, Trump up 5, Trump up 1, Trump up 6. Extremely close, leaning more towards the Trump side. But I will allow you to infer what you want to infer based off of those polls, guys. Again, guys, if you want to know where I put each of these states, go check down the video in the link in the description below. Guys, take a look at that. Subscribe, like the video, guys. Help the algorithm, guys, as this channel is beginning to grow. We're going to have more and more videos coming up just like these. We're going to have election predictions, guys. Go and check out our channel content. Like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.